The asset-based valuation model, as I said earlier on, this is based on the asset value of the target company. So basically, it's more of net asset value basis, but we'll be looking at three models under the asset-based valuation model. One is the book value model, one is the net realizable model, net realizable value. The third one is the replacement value. Now, the book value is more of the is basically the balance sheet value. That's the statement of financial position value, the value that is in the financial statement. That's the book value. Now, we need to get, despite that is the book value, we need to get the net asset value. Net asset value is total asset minus current liability. So if you look at this example, they say provide an asset-based valuation of the shares in company Z. So the asset-based valuation of the shares in company Z is basically the net asset value. And how can you get the net asset value? Total asset, which is 385, minus total liability, which is 110. It will give you 275,000. 275,000 is the asset-based valuation of the shares. That's the value of the company, and that could be the minimum value the seller could accept. Right now, if you want to get the price per share of the company, the price per share is to do 275,000 divided by 50,000, because 50,000 here is the number of ordinary shares. You divide it, you have 5 naira 50 kobo. So 5 naira 50 kobo is the value per share of the company. The book value of the net asset is 275,000 or 5 naira 50 kobo per share. However, this valuation is based on the assumption that the tangible non-current assets are suitably valued and that 75,000 naira represents the realistic value for the intangible non-current assets. Now, for the intangible non-current asset we are talking about is this: all intangible non-current assets are allowed, but the only exempted intangible assets are internally developed goodwill, because it was developed by the company itself. So the company cannot actually place a value on it. And also capital, human capital. Also, the company cannot place the value on human capital. So these two intangible assets are not allowed, but the other intangible assets are allowed. So in this one, we assume that the intangible non-current asset is allowed. That's why we are able to use the 75,000 naira, and it represents a realistic value for the intangible non-current assets. It is therefore unlikely that the target company shareholders will accept an offer below 5 naira 50 kobo per share, and the offer will almost certainly need to be higher than 5 naira 50 kobo if the takeover is to succeed. Valuation based on other valuation models should be compared with the asset-based valuation model. Now, the next one is the net realizable value. Net realizable value follows the same concept with the book value. But in this net realizable value, we are not going to use the balance sheet value now. What we are going to use now is the net realizable value. If this asset is to be liquidated today, if this asset is to be sold today, how much are they going to get from selling? What is the disposal value? Now, the disposal value is what will be in replacement for the book value. So instead of using tangible non-current asset of 250, we look at the disposal value of 250. It could be 100, it could be 150. So that's what you use for net realizable value. Now, also for replacement value, we are looking at if you are to buy a new asset today, how much is the cost of acquisition in the open market? How much is the cost of acquisition in the open market? So now we are looking at if you want to buy new plant and machinery, how much is it going to be cost in the open market? So basically, it's still the same concept with net book value. Net book value, but different figures we are going to use for these three methods. Now, the next one is the income-based valuation model. The income-based valuation model, we have the PE ratio, we have the earnings yield, we have the dividend yield. As I said, the PE ratio is the income-based valuation model is based on earnings, right? While the asset-based valuation model is based on the asset of the target company. Now, if you are saying that the income-based valuation model is based on earnings, price to earnings ratio, what we're trying to do, we want to know the market price to earnings ratio. How many times can the market price cover the earnings ratio? Right now, for this ratio is the ratio of the market value of a share to the annual earnings per share. For every company whose shares are traded on the stock market, there is always a PE ratio. So for private companies, they don't have a PE ratio, so they have to use suitable PE ratio to calculate theirs. That means they have to look for similar company in the same industry and use their own PE ratio in order for them to get a reasonable price for their own that will be likened to their own PE ratio. So for us to get the market value of a private company, it's going to be earnings times estimated PE ratio. The estimated PE ratio might be based on the average PE ratio of a number of similar companies in the same industry whose shares are traded on the stock market. So basically, to get PE ratio for a public company is very simple, because if you have your earnings and you have a PE ratio, earnings multiplied by PE ratio will give you the market value. So the PE ratio is price divided by earnings. That's the PE ratio, price divided by earnings. That means if you want to get price is the market value. Price will not be price is equals to earnings times PE ratio. The same applies for private companies. But private companies only have earnings, but do not have estimated PE ratio. Neither do they have market value. So what will you do? You have to get the estimated PE ratio in order to get their market value. So the next one is okay, let's look at an example for PE ratio. The EPS of a private company, ABC company, was 15 naira last year and is expected to rise to 18 naira next year. Similar companies whose shares are quoted on the stock market have PE ratio ranging from 10 to 15.6 naira. The average, 15.6. 15.6 from 10 to 15.6. The average PE ratio of this company is 12.5. Solution: evaluation of the company might be to take the prospective EPS and apply the average PE ratio for similar companies. Now the valuation will be what? 18 times 18, which is the expected rise of the earnings, 18 times the average PE ratio, which is what? 12.5, equals 225 naira per share. But you can't necessarily use this value to place on the company, because the company is a risky company as long as it's not quoted in the stock market. Some companies quoted in the stock market, the shareholders can easily sell their shares in the stock market. For a private company, shareholders can't sell their shares in the stock market. They have to look for someone, and it might be difficult for them to find someone that wants to buy the shares. So we are going to factor the risks involved in a private company. That's why we are going to reduce the PE ratio by 10% in order to factor the risks involved in a private company. So we are reducing to 10%. So that will have 9 times. We have 9 times 18, which equals 162. And also that's if you are to use 10. But if you can also look at it as last year earnings. That's 15 times 9, which equals 135. So basically, this is what all PE ratio is all about. Then the next one is earnings yield. Now the PE ratio is price divided by earnings, right? Now the earnings yield is the inverse of PE ratio. That is, earnings yield is earnings divided by price, right? Earnings divided by price. That's the earnings yield. Earnings divided by price. That's earnings per share divided by current market price. So earnings yield, if you want to get the current market price of earnings yield, you have to cross multiply, right? But you have to know that the estimated earnings yield won't be given, because there is no market price for private company. So what will happen is suitable earnings yield for a private company might be similar to the earnings yield on shares in similar quoted companies. It is appropriate to increase the estimated earnings yield to allow for higher risks of investing in private companies. So earnings yield, as long as you have your earnings per share, then you get the estimated earnings yield. You divide earnings per share by estimated earnings yield to give the current market price of the private company. The next one is dividend yield method. Dividend yield method is the same with earnings yield, but now we are not using earnings, we are using dividend instead. So it's going to be dividend yield is equals to dividend per share divided by current market price per share. The dividend yield valuation model, a company's shares are valued using its dividend for the year and a stable dividend yield. So a stable dividend yield we are talking about here is for a private company, it might be similar to a dividend yield on shares in similar quoted companies. It might be appropriate to select dividend yield that is higher than the dividend yield for similar quoted companies, because the reason for selecting dividend yield that is higher than similar quoted companies is this: with dividend yield that is higher than similar quoted companies, you are going to reduce the current market price, because if you do dividend per share of 20 and dividend yield that is greater, it will definitely reduce the market price. Now, the reason for this is because of the fact that it is a private company, so the current market price has to be lower than a quoted company. So that's it for PE ratio and dividend yield. Now, the next one we'll be looking at is the dividend valuation model. As I said, this model is based on expected future dividend rather than on total earnings. Now, expected future dividend. The formula is MV, that's the market value per share, is equals to D1. D1 is the expected future annual dividend starting at time 1. That means if you are saying that dividend valuation model is based on the expected future dividend other than total earnings. Now, D1 is the expected future dividend. We assume that we continue to receive D1 forever till the company falls up. What's the assumption? We assume that we continue to receive this. So we are going to divide it with the shareholders' required rate of return. Dividing with the shareholders' required rate of return. The ROE, dividing with ROE. What this necessarily means is this: that we are trying to discount the future value, bringing it back to the present value. What is the value of this dividend we are going to receive in the future? That's what the ROE is trying to do. It's going to discount it back, bringing it to the present value. If you are going to receive 50,000 naira in 10 years to come, what is the value of that 50,000 naira today? So this is, as I said, the D1 is what we are going to be receiving from year 1 onwards. Right? So we want to know, if you're going to be receiving 50,000 naira, what is the value? What is the present value of that 50,000 naira today? So that's what the formula entails. And finally, with this formula, you can also get cost of equity, just for you to cross multiply, because ROE is cost of equity. When you cross multiply, you can get your cost of equity. Now, dividend valuation. This one is dividend valuation model without growth. That means we agree. The company agrees that, okay, fine, we are not going to grow on dividend, which is rare, because any company that is growing, any company that is existing is meant to grow. Any company that is existing is meant to grow. So for dividend valuation model with growth, we assume that the company is going to grow. It's going to grow by a certain percentage, right? So now in this dividend valuation model with growth, the formula is D bracket 1 plus G. The G is the growth rate divided by ROE minus G. The D still remains the annual future dividend. The company falls up, and the G is, okay, if you're going to grow, how many, what's the percentage that you're going to grow? And don't forget, for a company to grow, if the company is not getting, the company can grow by what? By the retained profits. That's one of the major ways a company can grow, by the retained profits. So if the retained profit is, say, we are retaining 50,000 or 5 million this year. Now, what is the return that the shareholders expect on every investment? If the shareholders expect that on every investment they're going to receive 5% on every investment, that's 5% times the retention rates, right? If the company made 10 million and they're retaining 5 million, that means they have retained 50% of the earnings. Right? Now, 5% times 50%. That will give us our growth rate. So growth rate is retention ratio multiplied by return on investment by shareholders. Right? So this is it. So the next one we'll be looking at an example with the growth rate. A company has just paid an annual dividend of 48 naira. Dividend are expected to grow by 4% each year into the foreseeable future. Dividend are expected to grow by 4% into the foreseeable future. That means 48 is meant to grow by 4% into the foreseeable future. Now the shareholders' cost of capital is 12%. Using the dividend valuation model, the expected value of the shareholder is thus 48 bracket 1 plus 0.04 divided by 0.12 minus 0.04. 0.12 is the what? Is the shareholders' cost of capital. Alright, you are dividing with the shareholders' cost of capital to get the present value. If you are going to receive 48 naira into the future, what is that value, that 48 naira into the future, foreseeable future? What is the value today? Right, so when we do the market value today is 624 naira. So this is going to be the value that the bidder is going to place in the company. If the bidder is using, if the investor, the bidder is using dividend valuation model to value the company. This growth rate is known as Gordon's growth rate. Growth model. It's Gordon's growth model. And I explained that Gordon's growth model, growth rate is equals to what? Retention ratio multiplied by the reinvestment, by the rate of return on every investment. So B is what? Retention ratio. And how can we get retention ratio? Retention ratio is from earnings. That is earnings plus dividend. Sorry, retention plus dividend will give us earnings. That means your earnings, you either pay it as dividend or you pay it or you retain it as earnings. Or you can do both. Retain some and pay some as dividend. Most companies do that. Example of companies that do that is Access Bank. If you look at their 2016 financial statement, they retain the lot and they paid out some part of it because they are using dividend residual dividend policy, issuing out of dividend. They use residual dividend policy. Now this is the growth rate. As I said, retention ratio multiplied by rate of return that the company expects on every investment. Please don't forget. Now example is this. The company has just achieved annual earnings per share of 15 naira, of which 40% has been paid in dividend. That means 60% has been reinvested as retained earnings. The company is expected to retain 60% of its earnings every year and pay out the rest as dividend. The expected return on investment is 10%. The cost of equity is 8%. Now the expected return is 10% and the cost of equity is what? 8%. Now to get our growth rate, we are doing retention ratio multiplied by the expected rate of return or return on all investments. So the expected rate of return on all investment is what? Is 10. Retention ratio is 60. 60% times 10% will give us 6%. Now our current annual dividend is 20. That's 40% of the dividend of the earnings that was issued out times the earnings will give us 20, which is this. Now using the dividend growth model, the expected value for the share is 20 times 1 plus 0.6. 0.6 is the growth rate divided by 0.08, which is the what? Which is the cost of equity minus 0.06, which gives us 1,060 naira. 1,060 naira is the value of the company's shares per share. Value of the company's share per share. That's what 1,060 naira is.